Boys on the hunt, metal to the bone. City lights flicker when a freak calls home. No rest, no peace, just a mission's cruel grind. SCP shadows will drag you when you fall behind. While we got our checks in these haunted streets, cursed by the multi-cams in the streets. Feels like we're losing in the endless war. One man's curse leaves us bleeding sore.
Look, before we even get started, I'm upset that this video is taking so long to come out too. So I just want to say, I'm trying, you guys. We actually filmed the shooting portion of this video 3 times on 3 separate days because I wanted to stick to the cold shooting rule. One time we had a complete camera battery failure. The second time we had an SD card failure. Third time is indeed the charm, apparently, because we finally got footage. This is actually my 3rd time filming the commentary for this video, and both times we had mics just fail. Normally I take the dog's collars off, normally I edit out sounds, normally I tell my kid to quit playing video games for a little bit. Look, I don't care anymore. We're just gonna try to get this out there to you, but I want you to know, I know it's been overdue for this to come out. I am trying so hard. With that being said, what's everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Your Local Cop Probably Sucks, where each episode that we try to put out every week or 2 or so, I did say so. I'm going to ramble a lot here too. I'm pissed off today. A mediocre at best shooter dips his toes into the often absurd world of state-mandated law enforcement shooting quals. And if you're new to the series, it's just that. Every new episode, we pick a state. We look up what their officers need to do as far as passing their annual shooting qualifications. We write that on down. We take it to the range, and we see just how bad or good some of these could get. It's mostly bad, as the title of the series implies. God, I love root beer. Anyways, this week, this last 3 weeks, we've been trying to go to Idaho. This is a 40-round qual shot on a T19 target. And, of course, like most other states, they have their own target and their own funky way of scoring. But out of a possible 200 points, you will need 170 or 85% to pass. This qual is also split up into 9 stages that are shot at distances ranging from 3 to 25 yards. As far as scoring goes, on the T19, you have a upper thoracic area and an ocular area in the head box. Those are worth 5 points. You have a lighter green area that, for the most part, is worth 4 points. As I understand it, any drill that includes a mandatory headshot outside of that ocular area, but in the green, is 1 point. And then you have an outer dark green area that is worth 1 point, both for the regular stages and for the ones requiring a mandatory headshot. Being as I do not have a bunch of T19 targets laying around, and I wanted to make this a little bit more interesting, what we do have is a lot of USPSA targets. Also, if you're new to the series, we modify USPSA targets a lot to fit the needs of most of these quals. I do feel it is a superior target and grading system. So what we're going to do today, for the purposes of how we're going to shoot it, is the top half of the A zone and the small A zone in the head box of a USPSA target will be 5 points. The C zone, not to include the head box, because headshots are only cool when you mean for them to be, will be 4 points. The head box outside of the small credit card-ish size A zone will be 1 point straight up. So even for the drills that we're shooting center mass, if we go far enough off target to get a headshot outside of that ocular, 1 point. No excuses. And then you will notice, if we go back to the T19, there's that outer dark green that would pretty much be a D zone. We're taking that away. D zones are misses today. So just to recap, you have the top half of the A zone and the ocular box of the head will be 5 points. The C zone, not including the head, but to include the lower half of that A zone, will be 4 points. And then anything in the head box that's outside of that A zone is 1 point. And that includes the A zone on drills that do not call for a headshot. Cool? Cool. Hope that makes sense. Told you it was going to be rambly today. Whatever. If you're new to the channel, we do have a set of rules that we like to play by. The first one that we play by is we will be shooting everything today with our non-dominant hand. For example, I am naturally right-handed. Everything will be shot left-handed for me today. So we're going dumb hand today. Second rule we always play by is cold. No warm-ups, no dry firing the drill the night before. Typically, it will be the first time for me to ever shoot this drill. Clearly, that didn't work out this time because we had to get footage somehow. But we did wait a day or two between each attempt at filming to at least try to keep that same spirit. But for the most part, no warm-ups at the range. We're just going to staple up a target. We're going to get our notes, and we're just going to get to work and start shooting the qual. The third rule that we always play by is no mulligans, no do-overs, no excuses. Typically, does having to shoot it 3 times break this rule? Maybe. I don't know. But we still go to the range with the mindset of what we shoot is what you're going to see. We have a live target cam, so the first time we get good footage, that's it. If the target's ugly, if we've managed to fail the qual, you're going to see it, and we have failed quals in the past, just to stay true to that spirit. As far as wild cards go today, everything will be done from the holster as our first wild card. There are some stages that going off Idaho's paperwork started a low ready. Screw all that. We're coming straight out of the holster. We're getting a draw with every drill, no matter what. Our second wild card, this was actually a fan suggested wild card. They said just every stage you shoot a different gun. So we did a little bit of a spin on that. We pretty much gathered every slide and variation that I could fit into my Glock 19 holster. And every stage we're going to run through those. So we have a Brownell slide with a PMM barrel and comp with a Holosun 507 comp on top of that. We are still putting rounds on the AIM Surplus ported barrel and window slide. Somehow it hasn't blown up yet, and we're rocking a Trigicon RMR Type 2 on top of that. I don't know what my dog's getting into, but it's annoying me. Peggy! What are you doing? Get over here. We have a Gen 3 OEM Glock 19 slide with straight up just Trigicon HD iron sights on it. And then we also have our Glock 44, which is a 22 caliber handgun, but it fits in the holster. So guess what? It's going. Every stage we're going to rotate through those. And so every stage will be a different recoil impulse. It'll be a different sight picture. It'll be some getting used to. And you're just going to have to fly with it. Our third wild card, as you might have gathered from, just the intro to this video and how flustered I seem today, I don't know if this counts as a valid wild card, but to me, I think it counts. Our third wild card is I'm just tired as hell. I am too tired for any of this.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
We've been doing the Muay Thai thing. We've been still lifting. We've been working side jobs and part-time jobs. We've still been going to our full-time job. What else happened? Kid graduated 3rd grade, so summer started now. It was my son's birthday. It was Memorial Day. It was Harambe's birthday. It was Harambe's Memorial Day. Our washer broke. Just a lot of bad stuff, a lot of stress, and it's been hard to keep focused lately. So I think it's valid. I think it's valid because it does affect performance. So our third wild card today is I'm just tired as hell. Just tired as all beat to hell. And we did Muay Thai this morning, and then we went to leg day at the gym. and then went straight to the range, like still in our Muay Thai, like kickboxing shorts. So yeah, we're just worn out. I have rambled enough. Let's get to the stages. All right. For stage 1, we start all the way back at 25 yards. On the beep, we will draw, put 3 rounds on target from a standing position. We will then do what they call a tactical reload or a retention reload. There is a penalty here if we let the magazine that we take out of the gun hit the ground. So we have to be mindful of that. We will then take a kneeling position and put another 3 rounds on target. To get all this done, we have 25 seconds. Cool. Stage 2 is fairly simple. We move up to 15 yards. We have 6 seconds to put 2 rounds on target. We will then repeat this drill for a total of 2 runs at it. So, 15 yards, 6 seconds, 2 rounds, 2 times. All right. For stage 3, Idaho is very specific how they want us to load our gun to start this one. So we will have 1 round in the chamber, 1 round in the magazine inside the gun, and then we will have the rest of our loadout on our belt. We will be moving from 15 to 7 yards on this. So on the beep, from 15 yards, we will start advancing. We will put 2 rounds on target, emergency reload, and then 1 more round on target. We have 10 seconds to get this done. So essentially, moving from 15 to 7, we have a 2R1 on the move in 10 seconds. Oof. All right. Stage 4 is much like stage 2. We go up to 7 yards. We have 3 seconds to put 2 rounds on target. Per Idaho's paperwork, we started a low ready, but once again, because of the wild cards, we'll be coming out of the holster on this. Okay. Stage 5 is actually a cluster of drills. We stay at the 7-yard line. It is actually 3 separate drills in one stage. So for the first one, we will be facing 90 degrees right of the target. On the beep, we will pivot left and put 2 rounds on target. For the second drill in this stage, we will be facing 90 degrees left of the target. On the beep, we will pivot right, put 2 rounds on target. And you can probably guess what's coming next. For the third drill of the stage, we will be facing away from the target. On the beep, we will turn a full 180 and put 2 rounds on target. For each of these drills in this stage, we have 4 seconds per drill. Stage 6 is another movement drill. We once again start at 7 yards. On the beep, we have 4 seconds to put 3 rounds on target while advancing to the 3-yard line. Stage 7 is much like stage 6, just flipped. So now we start at the 3-yard line. On the beep, we have 5 seconds to put 3 rounds on target while retreating back to the 7-yard line. For stage 8, Idaho is once again very specific of how we load the gun to start this drill. So we will have 1 round in the chamber, 2 rounds in the magazine inside the gun, the rest of our loadout on our belt. For some reason, police academies just love Mozambique, failure, 2 chest, 1 head drills, whatever you want to call them, but we're going to do those for stage 8. So at the 5-yard line, on the beep, we will do a Mozambique, emergency reload, and another Mozambique. We have 8 seconds to get this done. So beep, chest, chest, head, reload, chest, chest, head. 8 seconds, 5 yards. Let's do it. For stage 9, our final stage, we move all the way up to 3 yards. And once again, cops just love the Mozambique drill for some reason. So, stage 9, fairly simple. 3 yards, 5 seconds, Mozambique. Terrible draw. Hey, let's go score it. Not looking too terrible. Let's go find out. Okay, so not too bad. We really wanted to stay in that upper A zone. We had a couple pulled outside of that, but no overtimes, and honestly, not terrible. Managed to pull down a 193 out of 200 for a total of 97%. Well over the required 85% Idaho wants of us to pass, so hey, not too bad. And speaking of not too bad, this set of drills isn't terrible either. If you've been here for most of the series, we're about halfway through the states, and there's been some really bad ones. This one's not terrible. There are some tweaks, though, that we could put on this, right? So, first tweak I would do is stage 1. It goes back to this time-old theme that I'm starting to see, that police academies apparently just think that cops can't shoot past 15 yards. Because when they make them do it, they give them these just huge par times that are insane. So the first thing I would do is cut that down to probably 12 seconds. I'd cut that about in half. About 12 seconds is about fair, I think. As far as stage 2 goes, same thing. I would cut that par time in half. If we can get 2 rounds on target from low ready, even by their standards in 3 seconds at 7, shouldn't be that hard at 15 either. That's a lot of time to get the gun out and put 2 rounds on target. Speaking of getting the gun out, there'd be another tweak I'd make to this. I said it in my last video, I hate when these departments start throwing in little cheats for their officers, like starting from low ready or even starting just completely on target. We've seen that before too. Another tweak I would do is every last one of these drills, I'd have you start out a holster. Duty holster, 100%. Stage 3, honestly, I have no problem with. You got movement in there, you got gun mechanics, you got a reload. You got, multiple things you need to be doing and processing while moving. I got no problem with stage 3. Stage 7, for the most part, have no problems with. The only thing I said, I would make you come out of a holster for that. Let's see. Stage 5's honestly not terrible. The pivot drills. We got footwork in there. We got, having to identify a target as you're pivoting into it. The only thing I would change on that, I'd take a second off your par time. I'll give you 3 seconds for that. I think that's fair, especially coming out of a duty holster. Stages 6 and 7, advancing and retreating from 7 to 3 and then 3 to 7. Let me see. 3 rounds on the move. I'd shave half a second off that. I'd give you 3.5 seconds. I would make that 3.5 seconds for both of them. I don't know why we're getting an extra second for retreating. It's still just footwork, y'all. It's fine. That's all I'd tweak on that. Stage 8, the Mozambique reload Mozambique in 8 seconds. Honestly, I was a little bit worried I was going to get an overtime on that. That one, I really like that one, especially with the smaller head zone and the stiffer penalty outside of that ocular area. I actually really like stage 8. I'm probably going to work on that one more. It was kind of fun. I wouldn't change a thing about stage 8. I would love to see more calls with stuff like that. As much as I hate Mozambique drills, that one is actually not bad. And then stage 9, Mozambique, Why do we need 5 seconds at 3 yards? See, like, we did something good with stage 8, then we went to stage 9 and did some weird stuff again. I would cut that down to like 2.5, 3 seconds. Like, if we're close enough to reach our arm out and almost touch the target, we don't need 5 seconds to put 3 rounds on it. Those first 2 you can point shoot. They're going to be in the A zone. They're going to be fine. You could probably point shoot that headshot in there too. So I would cut that par time about in half, which seems to be a theme for most of these. It's just, they're not bad drills. It's just way too much par time put on them. So it could be good. It could be good with a little bit of tweaks. That's how I would tweak it. Idaho, if you're listening, maybe think about it, consider it. That being said, I really hope this audio is recording, and I hope you enjoyed this video because I put so much more work into it than you will ever know, and then just had to erase it. So thanks for tuning in, the people that do care. And if you did care, and if you did enjoy, maybe consider subscribing, commenting, sharing, ringing that bell, because as we all know, that's the actual subscribe button. And I think I've rambled enough. I'm so exhausted mentally and physically of all the stuff that's gone wrong in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I got not much else to talk about. Usually there's an old man ramble here, but I'll just say I'll put up another poll because we are still here. We are still making videos. I haven't gone anywhere. Haven't given up on this yet. Not that I'm going to. But we'll put up a poll of what state you'll want to see next. I do want to keep seeing those fan suggestions for wild cards because y'all come up with some fun ones. And then we'll see where that goes. And hopefully it won't take me, 3 weeks to get the next video out because Murphy just showed up the entire time I was trying to. Yeah, with that being said, y'all be good out there. And if you can't be good, be careful. And if you can't be careful, don't throw your camera equipment across a gun range no matter how much you really, really want to, because just remember it's going to be okay. And we shouldn't take too much of this life thing serious for too long. And just remember, hey, get out there and have some fun. And when times are tough, you're just going to have to riz them with the tism. Love you guys. ADHD out.
Whoop, whoop. Here I come. Oh, here I come.